Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Stitching is Elementary. My name is Carol Lee. Thanks for stopping in to just talk about all stitchy and quilty things. This is a channel about cross stitch and quilting. I usually show quilting at the end. But it is Monday, April 21st, and I don't normally do a video on a weeknight because I'm usually tired from work, but I had something I had to show you before I took it to school tomorrow. So anyway, I have, let's just go through, I have some finishes, my students' finishes and some of mine. I have a ton of whips. I've just been all over the place with stitching. And then I have a fair amount of haul, more than I have had lately. And then just a little bit of quilting haul and kind of what I'm working on right now, plans. So let's get started. I hope you've also been getting lots of stitching and if you quilting done. So first I just wanted to show you, I have two in particular students who have just like really taken off with the cross stitch, and I'm having to bring home stuff to finish for them all the time. If I think of it, I'll post some pictures here of stuff I've finished that I haven't shown because I had to take it back to school before I did a video. But I was finishing something tonight and I'm like, I have got to show you this because it is, I just think it's adorable. So I have a couple of things from one of the, I have a little girl and a little boy. Well, they're fourth graders, not little, but anyway, that I've just really gotten into it and love it. So the little girl, I've shown you some of her stuff before, but this is her latest thing. She finishes this little cupcake. And the new thing she wants me to do is to make these into keychains. So I've already made her one keychain. So this is so little, we're gonna make that into another little keychain. Like they can hang in their backpacks. I should probably spray it with like that outdoor pillow stuff you spray to try to keep it clean because man, that's gonna get dirty. But anyway, and then she also made this little mushroom, which is kind of a mess. And this is fabric. All of this is fabric that you guys had sent in to me and donated, and I so appreciate. This is this gorgeous hand-dyed green Ada. And she loves it. She's doing a flower on it now. But anyway, she made this little mushroom and she doesn't like the back stitch, so I have to put it in the mouth, which I need to remember to do that. Last time I made the pillow and forgot for her birthday cake she made last time. And so I was able to do it even though it was already made into a pillow, but I need to do that. So I need to put it in the little mouth of the mushroom. So anyway, those are two things that she made. But then there's a little boy who's in her same class. And he saw her, she had made a hamburger that was like, I think that's the first thing she cross-stitched on fabric. And she had a page of all the patterns, and one of the things on it was a pizza, and he saw this pizza and that made him want to join because he wanted to make this pizza. So after he did his plastic canvas square, the first real cross-stitch he wanted to do was this pizza. So he made it, and then, I mean, it's like this big. It's on 14, I think it's 14 count. It might have been 16 count, but I think it's 14 count. I hope I didn't give him 16 count, but I didn't realize there is some 18 and 16 mixed in with the Ada that was donated, and I just kind of put it all in the same drawer. But anyhow, so he made this whole little pizza, and he wanted it made into a pillow, but he wanted it the shape of a pizza. So I've had it here, and I just haven't been doing it. I'm like, I have to get it done and take it back to him to school. So I just did it and made it into this pizza, but it was so small. I'm like, he's gonna lose this thing. So I'm like, let me make it into a keychain too. And even if he doesn't use it as a keychain, maybe he can attach it. Like he said he had a bigger pizza pillow that he wanted to sit it with. I don't know. But I have to show it to you because it's adorable. Look at this little pizza keychain. Like he stitched that whole thing all himself. It's the first one he did. You know, he's so perfect. And my sewing on the side, because the Ada was fraying, so I glued it a little and then I stitched like crazy. Within an inch of its life. It looks kind of bad, but anyway, it's going to be on his backpack probably. But yeah, I think he did an amazing job and it's so cute. So there's the back. So yeah, so it's in a little keychain and it's just got this little clasp. I found these keychains at Hobby Lobby, and it's cool, so I can just put make a little like, you know, pull tab kind of thing. I don't know what you call this, like they make in bag making, and you can just slide this ring on it and it works perfect. So there's this little pizza, and we start Georgia Milestone, which is like our state testing tomorrow, so it'll be a nice little surprise for him in the morning. Okay, so that's the main reason I wanted to make the video. I can stop now. So cute. But I am due for one, so I figure I better go and show my stuff too. So I have a few previous finishes that I had sitting out for Easter or for spring here. These are from that Jelly Bean Jubilee by Brenda Gervais. And I started the Easter, which I'll show you when I get to new starts here, also to go with that. Here's the back. I want to put the little pin with some buttons on it, but I just forget about that. So there's those two. And then I also finished repainting my monthly weigh-in, and this is the April monthly weigh-in. I just made it a darker green to I had shown that, I think I had shown it. I don't know, I did a whole vlog video last weekend and then I didn't upload it because sometimes I don't know. Anyway, I'm unsure about uploading those. And it was me painting that whole hutch for my kitchen just throughout the weekend and getting it done and everything and then decorating the whole thing. So I still have it if anybody's interested. Maybe I could edit some and put in this video at the end. Maybe I'll try to do that. But anyway, in that I painted like this really muted dark or greeny blue, and then I did like brown wax, so it made it more muted. And this was just too bright next to it, so I just painted it with a little darker. And I had a hard time because this is already all glued together, so if you hold it far away, you can't see all my mistakes. But anyway, I was glad to get that finished and up. And then I also finished my May calendar crates finally, which is kind of like the generic one, so I can leave it up all the time until I get all the rest done. So there it is. And I put this on. It's not the best finishing job I'm seeing right there. I did this with glue, and I just don't like glue because then it's not as tight. And then I did my next one with lacing, and it is so tight. It comes out so awesome. I actually Lori Holt's last lacing video, she showed how you lace from corner to corner too, and it really tightens it. That was her first lacing video. I don't think she showed that, or at least I missed it. But in this one, man, that makes a difference. It makes it so beautiful and tight. So this one I'm tempted to sometime redo. Yeah, and I don't know, I'd have to rip it all off. So anyway, it's good enough for, as she says, good enough for who it's for. But so that is kept on this piece, which is how I think they had shown to finish it. It hangs in my hallway. So yeah, so that's done too. So I have a few less empty display pieces laying around, so that's good. This one was laying with just the magnets for the longest time on it. Okay, and then I also finished, but not fully finished, this the Garden Fair by Blackbird Designs. I had just been going through all my Blackbird stuff, and I found this, and I thought, well, that's cute. So I stitched this on a 32 count Lugana from Color on Cotton. I don't know the name of it, but it's when I was in the club, and I picked my own colors. Most of them are Color and Cotton, but there's a few Classic Colorworks and one Victoria Motto. That light pink is that one. Show you this light pink and that light pink are Victoria Motto. So here are the colors. So yeah, I really like how that came out. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It shows to make it into a box, as you can see here, but I don't know that I need that many boxes. So I'll probably either frame it or make it into like a little pillow. But yeah, so I like how that came out. I wanted to get lots of spring smalls, but I got some started, but not finished. That was the only one. Okay. I guess I'll show this now. This is a new thing I am totally into. So I was watching Brenda and Laura talked about how she went to see, oh geez, am I going to remember her? Oh, Susan Stanley. And she showed her how to paper piece. And I have had, let me grab it. I've had this box forever with a paper, or not, sorry, English paper piecing quilt like kitted up to make in here. I had seen, no, I'm not going to remember her name, another stitcher and quilter who was doing this English paper piecing quilt called Jelly Garden. If I remember her name, I'll tell you. It's somebody very famous. I just can never remember names when I get on here. Are very famous in the Floss world. But anyway, Jelly Garden. So I've had this all kitted up and just never started it. So when I saw her, I'm like, I want to do that. Here's like, I have Brenda Riddle's, one of Brenda Riddle's jelly rolls in here to make it out of. And like I have, oh, there's more in here I can show too. Yeah, good. I'm glad I got this down. A whole bunch of Hexies. So I'm using the 1-inch Hexies, and this is from the company Paper Pieces. Okay. So anyway, I had everything ready to go. So I was like, I'm going to try it. So I went and watched, Susan Stanley has a video. So I followed Laura's, I think they put a link into it, or I looked it up. I don't know. Here's some more of those. And I put everything in this little bag so I can just take it with me because it's really nice and portable. But this is the first one I made and finished. Right there. I was super excited. There's the back. It's all the papers, and I'm not glue basting. I actually enjoy this sewing it. That's how she chose to do it. And I had glue in here to just use this sew line to glue base, but I really liked the sewing it. So I'm going to keep doing that unless I change my mind. So I decided I'm going to make all the centers pink. So for this pattern, you need, I mean, it's going to take me forever. It's just going to be a whatever. You need 32 flowers, 24 3-color, and 8 multicolored, it says. So like 32 of these. So I decided I'm going to make all the centers pink and then use like all the other colors, the green and blue and yellow in this to make that outside part. And then the next ring around I might make pink too. So I got 32 pink Hexies, and I've been working on making all the centers. And I have a ton done. I've been loving this. So these are all, I'm using three different fabrics for the centers. Let me organize it. Okay, so I'm using this little gingham, this floral, and this little stripe. So those are going to be all the centers. And then there's other pink fabrics in here. So I might use that for the second round. You know, there's just all different ones. So I'm loving that. It's really easy and it's going very well and it's really fun. I'm just using, I've heard people say polyester thread is better because it's stronger, but I don't really like using polyester with cotton, and I started using this and it's worked. So it's Aurifil 80 weight, just a light pink. So that's what I've been using, but anyhow, yeah, so I've been loving it. Okay. All right, so now whips. I just have a million whips. I don't even know where to begin. I'll try to show the spring ones first. Okay, so here's a really old whip that I pulled out to try to get done for Easter, but I did not get it done. It is Hip Hop Chock Full by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine before she started making her own, like had her own company. She had done this collaboration. And I started this when I first started cross stitching, and I really found it hard to follow the pattern, so I had stopped it. Here are, the flosses are similar to called for, I will say. They aren't exactly called for, but they look a lot like them. So that's the floss. And I'm doing it on 28 count, this gray gingham by Weeks. It is, yeah, it's nighttime. I'm not gonna remember any names. Oh, I forget the gray color, the real dark gray that Weeks has. Well, this is the gingham in it. So anyhow, that's where I left off. And I have a needle in here still, which I need to take out. So it's coming out cute now, but there's just so much like swirling around and counting and everything here that even now that I've cross-stitched for quite a while, I think I'm pretty proficient at it. I still had to like mark off on the chart, so I made a copy of it. I'll just, real quick. And I just, with a pen, mark off as I do the stitches, because otherwise I get lost. So yeah. It's cute though. It's gonna be really cute when it's done. So I worked on that a bit. Now I'm just gonna pull, well, no, here, I'll get the other spring one. I think there's just one more. No, there's a couple spring. All right. All right. And then last year I had started, this is a bag from Number 12 Design Company. I couldn't remember that name last time, so there we go. That's an improvement. Oh, Nicole's Needlework. That's who gave me the idea about the Hexie Jelly Garden quilt. I think she finished hers, or at least she finished the top. I'm pretty sure. Long ago, but it's pretty. Anyhow, I had started this Teresa Kogut egg collector last year. So I pulled it out. I was hoping to get it done this year, but but I did get, you know, some progress on it. Sorry for the wrinkles. So there is what I've gotten done. I'm having a hard time showing it. Yeah, so this one's a fun one to work on. I might, I'm trying to stitch, so if you've watched me before, I've talked about monthly stitching. So like doing Christmas on the 25th, Halloween on the 13th, 30th and 31st. And lately I've been really bad. Well, for the past few months, I've been really bad about that. Probably longer. But this month I have tried to really do it. So I'm going to stitch spring on the 20th and 21st. So when I'm done or when I'm tired of the one I'm stitching now, I might pull this one out to stitch on at the time. But I loved the floss that this called for. It was just DMC pretty much. And it was just really, I really like these muted colors for spring colors instead of the really bright ones. So what I decided to do is make a little floss ring. I've seen other people do this. And I took those colors and I kind of picked a bunch of other colors that were similar. And then I got a DMC and a over-dyed version of them. So like, now I'm added a lot more color. So this is like my whole spring little floss. So any kind of spring stuff I'll do, I'm going to try to pull from these colors. But so color and cotton patchwork for my purple. And then that goes with DMC 28. So I just tried to make them, you know, as close to match as I could. I mean, they're not exact. But then I can decide, do I want to use overdyed or do I want to use the DMC? So I did that for all the colors. I won't go through and tell you them all, but just the idea, you know, you could do, if you like certain colors, you could, you know, just make a whole ring and then use that for all your spring stitching. That one, no, that one goes with that one. Those two. So like I said, they're not exact by any means, but they're close. And like I would use all the hand-dyed or all the DMC. So it wouldn't be like I'd be using the hand-dyed with the DMC, so it's okay that they're a little different. Yeah, so anyway, I don't think you want me to go through all of it, but there's some pinks, some corally reds, some dark reds. Yeah, so that was fun to put together and yeah, use it for my spring stitching. Actually, I'll probably hang it up here in case I want to use it for anything else. I don't want it to get lost in that bag. I think I'm going to put this away now for this year. Okay. Unless I decide to get it back out for my rotation. Okay, and then I have been working on, from Just Cross Stitch Magazine, the Nature's Medley, Nature's Journey. And I guess the summer one is out now, but I plan on working on spring, like all through spring until June 22nd, and then I would start the summer and work on that all through summer. It's in this Starry Owl Stitchery bag, which I love, made from Flower Girl. And I'm using all the DMC, which is a ton. It's just a load of DMC in there. And this is on 28 count fabric I dyed myself. In blue, like green with a little bit of blue in it, like apple green. And then, yeah, apple green with a little bit of blue. Oh, and then I tried doing some coffee tea dye, but it got too muddy. So then I re-dyed it green, and now I like it. So that is my progress. I really worked a lot the other night to get that branch in. So I still have a lot to do. But I'm hoping to get a lot of progress on it in May. I'll show you. So I'm just about done by the beginning of June, and then maybe I can start the June one a little early, or the summer one a little early. But so I'm just up here working on this. I have to do all this. So, but I am happy with how it's turning out. I love how the fabric turned out. And the colors are so fun to stitch with. So, is that all my spring? I think that's all my just spring stitching. Oh no, one more. I have a new start. That Easter one I told you from Jelly Bean Garden. So it called for 40 count, and I decided to do it on 40 count because I have those pillows, these in a little doll bowl here, and I don't want it to be too big to fit in there. So I thought, well, I'll just do the 40 count, but I do not like stitching on 40 count. 36 count is definitely my favorite. It's just, I just can't, even with my bifocals, so I have these from the eye doctor, and even with these, I can't really see that great on 40 count. So anyway, sometimes I have to use my magnifier, and I don't really like using my magnifier. All right, so I started this one right here, the Easter one. And I did not get much done because I was doing this, and you'll see there's a couple other that are on 40 count. And I was just kind of really done with the 40 count. But I feel like the light is not right. That's what I got done. The light's to my side and behind me, so, well, there's lights behind there too. I don't know why it doesn't look right. But that's what I got done. So it's cute. I'm going to try the Lori Holt 5.0 readers. I have in my cart to order the 5.0 and the 4.0, I thought, and just see. Readers I have a problem with. I don't know if it's whatever my vision is. I have astigmatism, and I don't know if that's why. I kind of thought that was why, but I thought I might try them and see. Okay. So that's all my spring now. Then I did work on quite a few samplers. Let me put all those together. So we'll show you those. So this is a bag I made myself. The fabric line is called Chelsea's Garden. I used the Lori Holt zippers from her zipper pack. And this is, find the cover, Hannah Atwater from Mama Loves You GB. This one was really calling to me. It's called to me more than most of my samplers. I don't know why. Eloise has been calling to me too. I've got to get her out. So I think I'm going to work on this one all this week, and then I'll get Eloise out next week for my birthday week. My birthday's on next Tuesday. Okay, so Hannah Atwater. And this is also on 40 count. So between the two, I'm like, ah. But to get it to fit and use the fabric I had to do that. I am also using Roxy Floss Co-Conversion. Just thought it was really pretty. I like that purple in there. And here is I'm kind of all over the place with this one. I did the border, and then I did some of the flowers, and then I decided I was just going to go and do all of page 1. So here, the outline of the border is all done. And I had done some flowers over there, and then I thought, well, I'm just going to do page 1 and just get that done. So this is me working on page 1 here. So yeah, I don't know, I really like this one. This is on 40 count Hog's Bristle. Yeah, 40 counts Hog's Bristle, I think, by Fox and Rabbit. So yeah. So I think I'll work on that, like I said, the rest of this week and see how much I can get done. And then I'll put it away and get out Eloise Cornu from Reflets de Soie, or how do you say that? Okay, and then this is my daughter's wedding sampler. This June, I think, will be 3 years. Sorry, my hair's a mess. I think it's 3 years, not 4 years. Oh, gosh, it can't be 4 years already. Anyway, I figure if I get it done by 5 years and framed and given to her before her 5th anniversary, I'm good. So I've been trying to do a thread a day on here, and I usually don't do it every day, but then I try to catch up and do like however many threads for the days I miss. So Greta, if you're watching, go away. So I'm doing Sampler Lovely Birds. Here's the pattern. It's off of Etsy because her wedding theme was an avian theme. My daughter, who is an artist and illustrator, we had named all the tables by birds, and she had made bird illustrations and on like little postcards that we put on each of the tables. It was really cool. So anyway, and then we had like to put the cards in, we had a big vintage bird cage. It was really fun. So I'm doing it in 40 count white. Now 40 count white I really have no trouble with at all, just plain white. And I'm using DMC 932 because this was the color of her bridesmaid dresses. So here is my progress. I'm working, I think, on page 2 and page 3. And this one I really have to mark off too with a pen as I do it. So here is my progress. Yeah. So I mean, it's coming along. Starting on this big, it's gonna be a big bird there, and then I'm gonna put their wedding date in here and their initials. I think I'm gonna put their initials maybe here and here because there wasn't really a spot for it. So, but I think it's beautiful. I don't know what frame color I'll use. I don't want white. They have a lot of wood in their house, so I'll probably use some color wood. We'll just have to see what looks good. But that is my progress. So keep me accountable if you don't see it for a while. And then I'm also trying to do 1 stitch a day on another. I really like the 1-color samplers. They're very relaxing to do. On my one I started for Lisa's birthday. It's Hands Across the Sea, Mary Cornwall, 1827. Lisa, I have to watch your video that you put out. I still haven't watched it because I've been so busy, but I want to see how far along you are. You're probably done. I probably didn't see it because you're not on Instagram. That's how I always kept up with you, but I will watch it. I am doing this on, let's see, my card, 36 count Fiber on a Whim Milk and Honey, and I'm using Cottage Garden Threads Ashes to Ashes. So here's the thread color. This, and it's like a browny black. It's really looking brown there. It depends on the light. Sometimes it looks more black and charcoal, or sometimes it looks more brown. But I'm doing it for my black sampler wall. In my bedroom. And I have the first row done. This one's a fun one to stitch on. So I've been trying to put a thread a day in this too. I haven't, but I've done it more than I would have if I wasn't. So once again, if I miss it, then I go back and put like 3 or 4 threads in. But yeah, it's a really easy stitch. And I think I said this before, but Hands Across the Sea puts little warnings in on their charts, like beware if it's not, like when you're doing the border, if it doesn't follow the way the border always goes, like, you know, if you have like 8 stitches and you go down 4 and it's always that way through the border, where it changes, if it changes in these, she puts a little beware. I'm just going to show the teeny bit here so you can see, in a different color so that you know to count correctly there, because it's not the same as everything else, or as you would think. I guess that's why she does it. I think that's awesome. So it's been a really easy one to stitch. 36 count I love. 40 I just struggle with seeing. Okay, and then I also worked on my Strength Quaker. It's in my pretty black and white Starry Owl Citrus bag. This is Strength Quaker Style by RETM. And they have a Love, Courage, and Hope Quaker. So my plan is to do one a year for the next 4 years. And I'm on Strength. So I do need to work on this one more to get it done. I've kind of broken it up in my head. I mean, it's not that big, but you know, when you're working on so many different things. This is on 32 count smoky white linen, and I'm using Weeks Dye Works 2-strand floss, variegated floss. Okay, show it on here. So it's coal, I think. But it's cool because it's variegated, so I don't have to, yeah, coal. I can just pull it right off the bobbin and it, or the spool, and it works really nicely. So I left a thread hanging too. Okay, so this one I'm also working on page 1. And here, everything's really wrinkled. Here is my progress. So I'm really having fun with that one. And then let's do monthly stitching. So yesterday and today I pulled this one out. I have not pulled this one out since I started it last spring, I don't think. But I'm once again trying to do my monthly stitching. So what I'm doing is on my calendar. Oh yeah, let me show you my calendar. This little calendar is working out really great for me. I'm really liking it. So there, I stickered it for Easter. But I'm writing in, like, on the days, like, what should I work on? Like, what is my monthly stitch for that day? And like, for example, here I put Irish Quaker on the 17th, and I crossed it out because when that day came, I didn't actually work on it. But that's the only one I think I've missed so far this month. So I need to go back and give that some time. But here I had on the 20th and 21st Spring Moon. So, and this one I think somehow is also on 40 count, and I can't find the name of the fabric anywhere. But anyway, so there it is. The called for fabric is baked clay. I don't know, this might be baked clay, but it's called for 36, so I don't know why, or this is just a really tight 36 count. I'm not sure. And I pulled my own colors that are similar. I do that a lot to try to use all that floss back there. So here are my colors, but they're mostly color and cotton and some DMC. Pretty, pretty. All right, and here they are with the fabric. And oops, starting on the moons. There's my moon. I'll show you that first. And then there's just the colors, which I think look really pretty with that fabric. But yeah, I'm working on the moon, obviously. So yeah, so I worked on that yesterday and today. I might work on that more tonight. We'll see. But otherwise, I'll put it away until next month. And then I got in the mood for Halloween already. Like, I'm looking at stuff, Halloween decorating ideas online. So I'll show you my 13th, 30th, and 31st stitch. I did work on it last month on the 30th and the 31st. But this 13th, I actually pulled out another whip that, and I'll tell you the story with that why. But this is the Halloween stitch I have been doing, is the Quilted Witch cross stitch. And right now I'm working on the broom. And I am doing this on 25 count prim. So it is gigundo. My kids in school are like, this is like a blanket. They're like, what are you going to do with it? So I took it to school to work on during club. So it's all the called for DMC, which are kind of a mess, but at least they're on Floss drops. And this is the little, Floss drop holder thing you could get through Fat Culture Shop when it came out. And this is my gorgeous bag that I love. I just love the colors. Okay. So I am also working on page 1 on this, I think. Let me see. Well, no, okay, so no, page 2. I'm on to page 2, but the first half of the broom was on page 2, so I went and found the second half of the broom, and that's page 6, because I wanted to just finish up the broom. I'm not good at doing just that page and leaving something unstitched, like part of a motif. I always want to finish off the motif. Yeah, I'm not good at leaving things unfinished. Well, obviously I am, because I have like hundreds of cross stitch patterns started, not finished. But I mean, when I'm working on it, like I want to finish something before I move on to something else. Okay. So here is my progress. So it's coming along. It's looking cute. Show you the broom. Okay, here's, this thing's so big. Here's just the broom. Okay, so I'll show you that. And then she's standing on the broom, so I'll get to do witch's boots soon. But this isn't done yet. This broom is huge. Like, I think I probably have about that much more of the broom to do. So it's gonna be big. But it's cool, and it's all DMC. It's easy stitching. I can see it perfectly, so I love that. If I'm sometimes in the morning, my eyes don't want to focus on like smaller counts, so it's nice to do a bigger count. Yeah, so I'm happy with that, but I did not work on that on the 13th because I saw on Instagram. Let me see if I can find who inspired me. Somebody was doing Quaker Halloween by Lila Studio, and I had started that long ago. And she's doing it on beautiful fabric. It's like a purpley grayish. But when I saw hers, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to get that out and work on it. So I got it out. Like I always look at Instagram when I first wake up when I'm making my coffee. And I'm like, I'm getting that out this morning. Oh, here it is. So this was Shannon Dick 22. I think she's from Canada. But that was her. That fabric's so pretty, and the houses, like they're just glowing. That orange and yellow in there. I love it on that purple. If I hadn't already started mine, I would be doing a purple. But anyway, so I got mine out, and I do love my fabric too. I loved it a ton until I saw that one. And I started this when I was a very new stitcher as well. There's the pattern. And my fabric looks close to what this looks like in the picture, at least. This is Ada, so this is how early it was that I started this, when I was still stitching on Ada the most. And I hand dyed it with a gray charcoal. I think I might have put a little brown into, and I really like how it came out. It's just that purple is really pretty. So here is my progress. I had this motif was done, this was done, the hat was done. So I finished this motif, and then I went up and did this little motif, and then I started on this one. So I'm really, like, I want to work on this more. I'm really enjoying it. So maybe I'll get it done by this year. And I'm using all the called for colors because they're so pretty. It's a mostly classic colorworks, and then there's 1 weeks and one, oh well, the weeks I might have picked, but all the rest are called for. I'm not sure what white was called for. But here they are. Yeah, it's all classic colorworks. I, for some reason, must not have had classic colorworks bamboo, so I pulled a couple other whites out, but otherwise, that's all of it. Super pretty. And she shows on here how you could make it into a bunch of different smalls too. You could break it apart. So that, like, especially the haunted house row at the bottom, or the house row at the bottom, it's like a long pillow. Be cute. All right, so that is all the whips I've worked on this month so far. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get in the haul. Take a sip of water. Plans. One plan I have. This is a haul too because I purchased it. Julie, Colorado cross stitch, or Kansas City girl in the Colorado world, came out with a new sampler, and I don't have a picture of it. I'll try to insert one. I never know which side to point to. When I'm looking at this screen, I think it inserts to this side, but over here when you're looking at it. Anyway, it's Agnes Cairns or Carnes 1815. So she gives you the DMC, but I went through and matched the hand-dyeds to it, and I ordered the ones I didn't have, and so I'm waiting. Unfortunately, one of the ones I didn't have was green, and if you're seeing the sampler right now, you'll see that, like, I always start on the top left, and I have to start with green because it's like this whole green border, and even if I started a middle start, there was a lot of green, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to wait to do it. But I pulled out 36 count Ligonier Latte. I think that's what I'm going to use. And here are all the DMCs, which are pretty, that are called for. It's a Scottish sampler. I didn't say that. So these are the Weeks Dye Works ones I pulled that match pretty well. The blue was the only one that's a little darker, but I was actually okay with that. Oh yeah, where's the... Okay, the blue that's called for, I don't have that here. I guess I put it away because I wasn't going to use it, is DMC 158. And it's one of my favorite blues. It's like a Delft, almost like purpley blue, dark blue. But none of my hand-dyed really matched that exactly. And when I looked it up, there was no conversion. So I'm going to use Michael's Navy Weeks, which I had a teeny bit enough to, it's similar hue, but darker. So anyway, these are my hand dyes that I chose. Hold on. And they match pretty well, you know. So yeah. So as soon as I get the green hand dyed comes in, and the Michael's Navy I ordered more of, I'm going to get a start on that. But she talks about it in her last video. I guess for... the lady who and her husband run Fox and Rabbit, I think her name is Karen. Anyway, they're starting for her birthday, they're starting it. But she talks about it in her video. So that's a purchase and going to be a new start. All right, I'm going to go through the cross stitch haul first, and then I'll go into quilting, and then I'll show you what I'm working on quilting wise. Okay. So in my purchasing, I've also been all over the place. Well, this one, first of all, I haven't shown you. This wasn't a purchase. I won this from, so I was watching, memory is so bad. Hold on a second. I have some of their patterns in my cart, so I can find it. Okay. Floss Abilities. I was watching their floss tube and a while ago, and they were having a giveaway for some of Haystack Quilting or Haystack Stitching's Halloween patterns, which they're in the UK, I believe. And so I entered and I won, so that was exciting. So the one I chose was Boo. She has a lot of really cute Halloween patterns. There's her name, Haystack Stitching. So if you've never heard of her, go over, just Google Haystack Stitching and it'll come up. She has a shop. And she has really cute Halloween stuff. There are more that I want, but this is Boo. I love that little cat on the pumpkin. So I want to get that started soon. And then Teresa Koga is designed this. I have all kinds of little stuff here. I'm afraid it's going to fall. As a fundraiser for a little boy in her life that has cancer, I believe. And it's Hope Never Ends, Love Never Fails. Hope and Love. And you can get this in her shop on Etsy. So I thought that was really cute. I'm getting more into red because I'm always thinking, oh, maybe I'll change that color, but I'm starting to like red more. So I'm going to keep it red. Okay, and then I've really been into Primrose Cottage lately. I have another order coming from them. Well, first, let me show this. I got just this Midnight Belle Soie floss. It's like a dark, dark blue. I'm going to use it for that, for a new start. I'll show you when I start it. I can't remember the name of it right now. Okay, so Primrose Cottage, they're not their newest release, but the one right before that. The berry, okay, the strawberry quilt one, and she had a house one. Anyway, I ordered the fabric and the kit for that. So I got the little finishing kit for the strawberry quilt one. And this is the fabric for the strawberry quilt. So to make that, I didn't get the patterns yet because I like to get as much PDFs as I can because I can just store them on my computer. But I will get them when I want to start it. And then I also, one of their new releases, I cannot remember the name of it. Oh, Stitcher's Gonna Stitch, that one. They did on a bag, so I ordered the fabric for that and the gray, well, the fabric for the other ones in that release and the gray bag to do the Stitcher's Gonna Stitch on that. And they talk about all these in their video. I just realized I didn't download the patterns yet for that, but these are all the accessories like to make it. And then they came out with new ones now, that tomato quilt and the tomato Quaker, and the Stitcher's Rules. I'm going to do them all as little pillows, and I have like a dough bowl. I'm going to put them up, and I rearranged kind of and moved that big long dough bowl I had talked about that was in my family room. I moved it here, and I'm going to put them all in there with my plan. So those are all ordered, but they haven't come in yet. And then Fat Quarter Shop was having a needle minder sale, so I've wanted this one, so I got this little Halloween truck. And they also have a needle minder of the month club, which I joined, which for Beverly McCullough's needle minders, because I love hers. So I don't know if you still can join or not, but if you're interested, go over to Fat Quarter Shop and check it out. And then I'd also got from Fat Quarter Shop, I had put off doing this and then I decided to, the, what are they calling this one? The Good Old Days. And I don't know where the Good Old Days part of it is, but I joined their club. So I ordered the April because I joined the club late. And then with the club, I got the May. I think they're really cute. And then there's a whole big top that says, these are the good old days, which I'm wondering if I have to order separate. I might have to, because that probably came with the first month. So anyway, but I got those. And then I did finally get the Animal Crackers series Lily. I have not done any of these yet, but I love that little frog. I have another stuffed frog that sits by my stitching area, which I think I've shown before, that I got at a craft fair. She's got a whole little outfit and everything. She's so cute. So I thought she'd be cute sitting with her. And then Brenda Gervais, one of her new releases, The Earth Laughs and Flowers. I think that's really pretty. And then from Darlene Dion Designs, she has a bunch of similar ones to these, and I love this one, Count Your Blessings. So once again, a black one. I thought I'll put that up in my room. Maybe I'll make it a little pillow and put it in my room. Or I could frame it and put it on my black sampler wall. And then I had to get the punch needle and primitive stitcher because what was it that I saw that I wanted? Oh, I know. Camping Stitcher was showing this, and I was like, oh, I need that. I think she's doing it. I don't know if she's done yet. This is by the Stitching Bunny. No, this is called the Stitching Bunny. It's designed by Croquette Gagogo. Yeah. And I'll show you the picture. That's what it looks like. Super cute. So that'll also go in here. I'm trying to do a real like tomato sewing theme in here. Maybe I should show you. Yeah, I'll have to show you. I ordered some vintage baskets. They were some JCPenney's that said sewing baskets off of Etsy and Mercari. This is like when you go down a rabbit hole. So I'm blaming Kim, my friend Kim. Hello, Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim. She said that Citrus Garden I finished, she's like, you should finish it on a box. So I was like, oh, that'd be cute. So I'm going online searching for boxes. Well, then somehow I got into sewing baskets, and there were all these cool old vintage sewing baskets. So I kind of forgot about the boxes, and I was just ordering sewing baskets. So I'll show you those in a minute. It's like I have to stop, but they're cute. Like, so they're that tomatoey red. Anyway, and then I have a subscription to Cross Stitcher, and I've never stitched anything out of it, but they do have cute stuff. So first of all, it came with this, it always comes with a little like postcard kit. And this is Feathered Friends, this little bird, which is really cute. And then I'm just going to show you a few things that I thought were adorable. I don't know if I'll ever stitch anything out of this or not, but okay, this one I thought if I ever do have a grandchild, I would make that for them. I think that's adorable. That could also be cute little pillows. Really cute. And this is the June 2025 issue. And then these are, they have these every month, a different like alphabet set with some kind of an image on it. And this one's flamingos. I'll probably never make these, but I think they're adorable. Especially if you live in Florida. It'd be cute. I'm sorry, I just showed the chart. One of them. But there's all the alphabet and then the numbers in that. Let's see what else. Oh, these pillows I think are really cute. These I actually might make. These would be cute in with all my blue and white pottery. So yeah, so it's a worthwhile magazine. Lots of cute stuff. Okay, so that is all the cross stitch. Now I'm going to show quilting stuff. So if you don't care about that, thanks for hanging out. If you've lasted this long. I still have eaten dinner. I need to go do that. 8 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta finish. All right, so let's pull this over here. So I was watching Primrose a while ago, and they had a bundle of this fabric. Hold on, let me just find. It was this mushroom fabric, which is way, of course, on the bottom here. Wait, oh here, I got another. I got a bigger piece of it. So it was this was a bunch of other fabrics that matched it. But of course, when I went to get it, they were sold out. And I was like, oh, that's adorable. I'm really into the mushrooms. So I went looking for it, and it is by Make Our UK, which I always love their fabric. So I was able to find a bundle on Lulu's fabric shop. So yeah, I think that's really pretty. So I got that, and I got this yardage because I think I might use that for a border. I got the dots to use like binding. And then I also got a charm pack because I was thinking of making a table runner out of that same line. So I think those are really cute. And then she was having a sale on some things, and I think I needed to reach free shipping. I don't know. So I also got the Dasher by Sweetwater, a layer cake, because I had never gotten that this year. And some plaid for like a border. I love Sweetwater. And then just some of my blocks of the month come. So this is block 11. I think I only have one more of my designer mystery, and I've started getting all the setting fabric starts. So I want to get this done. So there's that. And then I also, the Hometown Holiday Sampler, I get the block of the month from the Quilt Spot. So what is this? This is month 9. And I have not started this. We'll see, maybe over the summer. And then this is also from Quilt Spot. It is the Happy Halloween. It's the pink quilt. It's all Halloween stuff in pink. And this is month 7, and it's the bat. And I also have not started that. Okay, and then what am I working on right now? Well, I've been sporadic with cross stitching, but also with quilting. I actually have not quilted that much lately because I just can't settle on a project. So there's a quilt I wanted to make for my bed forever. And I've talked about how I have a quilt up there already, but I got a new bed and I painted it black, and the quilt I have doesn't go great with it. So I wanted to make the Lori Holt plaid quilt. in a king size, which is a ton of blocks. So let me just show you it. It's from the Scrappiness is Happiness. And I've made this quilt in like a green and red for Christmas. But I'm going to make it in all different Lori colors. So I was part of, with Happy Little Stitch Shop, I was part of their Lori Holt fabric of the month, and you'd get like 8 fat quarters or something. And so I've been using that for this. And I'd stopped that club, and now I restarted it with Fat Quarter Shop because I'm using up a lot of my stash. But let me show you. So this is the plaid quilt. So I'm going to make that king size in all Lori fabrics. And what I at first was struggling because I'm doing like all the colors of the rainbow, and I wanted to do like, so like 9, like, okay, so first of all, let me show you. So here are all the cool ones I have done. So blues, purples, greens, and I wanted to use 2 different, so this is why I had to break into cools and warms. I wanted to use 2 different black fabrics to kind of tie together with my rim. So I'm using this little floral one on the cool ones, and then here's it by itself. And then I'm using this Lori Holt shabby, like gray or whatever. It's like a grayish black on the warm ones. So just a bunch of yellows, reds, pinks, some browns, multicolors, some oranges, all that in there. And then I'm going to sew. What I plan to do I have the finished one in here? I do have one set sewn together, I thought. But anyway, I'm going to sew like 9 together and try to do like different colors. And then, so I have big blocks of 9 of these. And then, so those, I thought it'd be easier than just sewing all these little blocks together. So I was trying to decide how to press them because I did not want to press open. I really don't like pressing open. So I decided that if I pressed did like warm, cool, and press all the warm one way and all the cool the other way, that will go together nicely then and nest. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll work out. Actually, no, the one I sewed together, I think I thought of the pressing thing after I did that, so I had to take it apart. So this is what I have done so far, but I need like hundreds of these to make a king size. So I need, I think, like 28 of each color. So I need to cut into some more fabric. So I didn't have many purple, so I started doing purple, and here's the background. It's the little clover in the aqua color. So I decided I'm going to focus on this one because I really want it done for my bed. So I'm just going to put everything aside and really try to get a lot done on this one, or get it done. But I got a bunch of purples pulled out, and here's 2 that I got done. And then here's a bunch that I have to finish sewing together. So yeah, so that's my plan to work on that. So hopefully next time I'll have a lot to show you on that. So thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit. I'll be back sometime in May. And otherwise, I hope you get lots of quilting and stitching done.